I have a Scag Tiger Cub with a runaway Governor. Has the Kawasaki 19 horse FH601V. Starts up. The Governor just revs to the ceiling. All the springs, mounts, everything were correct. So I'm going to tear it apart. This is a spare 19 horse. I'm gonna guess that the ball bearing retainer, I don't know if you can see them there, but the ball bearings, when it gets up to a certain speed, throws the ball bearings outwards and makes the plate separate. The spring keeps tension to keep it closed, and then the ball bearings force it the other way. So I'm guessing there's something wrong with this assembly in the other engine. Had a leaky bottom seal on top of everything. Well, so far nothing wrong with the Governor. I'll pull it apart real quick. I had to pull the thing apart anyway because the oil seal was leaking. That's why it's such a mess in the whole bottom side. Had to clean out the fins and six ball bearings. Another snap ring. There wasn't anything wrong with the retainer, but I went ahead and swapped it with my other motor that I know that's good. It had a bad crankshaft. Replaced every part of the Governor, just to be sure. Everything in the motor was clean. No shavings. No play in the rods. Nope, I'm going to replace a seal, do some cleaning, and we'll come back to it. Well, I found the governor problem while I was cleaning the case. I cleaned so much off of it, the governor control rod just started spinning freely, and I didn't even loosen that. So there's where the governor problem was. I had to take it apart to change the oil seal anyway, so no time lost. Moving the seal. Install the seal. Alright, I got it all cleaned up, cleaned out. I'm going to seal her back up, throw some ultra gray on both sides of the case. I bought a just a cheap $30 seal kit. I needed a new case seal for it. The old one broke up in pieces. It was the original 15-20-year-old case gasket. Putting just a thin skim on here in case I ever have to work on this mower again. It'll come apart a little bit easier. Also be tacky for the gasket. Also cover up any little scrapes from my blades when I cleaned it. Same stuff I use for motorcycles, imports, SR20 engines, ultra gray. If you use ultra black, you'll never get it back apart. Also going to throw some grease on the shaft, bearing surface, bearing seal surface, and a little on the bearing surface. And a little bit on bearing seal. We already have the gasket on there. Or to ease holding it. There we go. Throw the bolts on and torque them down. Got the motor back on. Gonna set the linkage back up for the governor. Got the linkage rod, the linkage spring, the control arm, which is still loose. You can hear me lift the plate and pushes the balls all the way up into the cone. Up, out, idle, full throttle. I'm gonna lift this to its limit. I'm gonna lift the plate and lift this and then tighten it. And then we're gonna hook up the spring to the governor control. This goes up to the carb. And that hole right there is where your spring's gonna go. Alright, got the control linkage hooked up, the spring's on. So we're gonna push this up to where the spring puts tension on it, right to where it holds it, and then tighten it up. Alright, everything's hooked back up. Someone had changed that. The little arm that holds on the rod, they just bent it over to fit in there. It seems to work okay. Happens on most of them that I've seen. We got the linkage all hooked up, adjusted. Hear that clanking? It's not rod knock. Every one of them I've seen, this wears out. It just wears that plate. Makes you think you got rod knock. All done. Well, so for a $30 gasket set, $10 oil seal for the lower main, and I got a $8 eBay tack here. We got everything fixed. Figure something out to fix that too.